What's up, YouTube? Mr. Limacy here, and today we're going to begin the hardcore elemental druid guided playthrough. This is going to be fire into wind and should be a good time. Again, very similar to softcore, except it's hardcore, so you just can't die. That's the difference, right? You just have to like not die. I like to take my shield off because who likes a shield? It's just kind of annoying. And we are offline, so I will set players 8 just for some early experience.
So it begins.
Early blocking is why I don't really want to have it lose frames. So starting out, players 8 is just really great for whenever you want to gain EXP. It is going to make the mobs more difficult. You type /players /8. And then, of course, if you want to go down, you go /players1, /players3. You can kind of always pick whatever you want. But you can see out here, mobs aren't too difficult. So I don't mind being on players 8. Very nice and easy. I'll go ahead and pick up Firestorm as well. It's our first point. And we'll get 5 points into Vitality.
Not enough mana.
Mana potion, not bad. Perfect. Now, one of the really nice things about this character is early on, his fire skills are extremely powerful. And so we can stick on players 8 for a majority of normal and even some of nightmare there. So we'll be able to over level a lot and we will have crazy high damage because of it. And it's just going to feel really nice. So we'll just keep rolling here. If I want to go players 8, I can as well through the den. I'm actually going to go... We'll get a bunch of mana potions first. I'm going to go players 3 through the den. Stream title's wrong. Oh my gosh, we just changed. Fine, I'll update the stream title. Hell Hardcore Druid guided playthrough. Y'all so picky. Oops. Hell Hardcore Druid. Better. Had Paladin go? Great. We're 5 for 5 so far with hardcore characters. Like I say, I know one of these days I'm just gonna get hit by a cursed, extra strong fanaticism Deathlord pack or something, and I'm gonna die. Gonna get crit by it, and I'm gonna lose a hardcore character on a hardcore playthrough. But yeah, I'm pretty happy to have taken 5 characters through pretty easily. Makes me feel better about my skills. Sometimes when, you know, when you speedrun, especially, and you're playing so risky all the time because you have to, you just have deaths. And you lose hardcore characters, or softcore characters die a lot because you're playing really, really risky with them. And then everybody says, noob. You couldn't play hardcore, noob. And you know that you could. But after that happening that many times, sometimes you're like, shoot, Could I play hardcore? Or would I just die a bunch? So it's nice to get here and be like, wait, no, yeah, of course I could play hardcore. Why am I listening to these guys? So, it's been nice for personal. Yeah, and a lot of it is a mentality shift. And it's a small one. I mean, like, the difference that for me between hardcore and softcore isn't a lot. I'm not changing that much. I'm changing 5% of my play. But that 5% is all of the risk. I'm taking out all of the risk that I would take on softcore or in a speed run.
Is that all of them?
Thanks, Slick. And just get some more money. Get some more potions. Get some stamina potions as well. We can look for a 2 open socket staff. That's just empty with 2 sockets. Doesn't look like we get it. And we'll just go more Firestorm. Why no Poison Creeper? Poison Creeper is great. But... And we'll go back to Players 8. Poison Creeper is great. But this is like... I'm doing an Elemental Druid hardcore guided playthrough. And I try not to mix it up too much. Because a lot of times if you're running Poison Druid, what you're doing is running Poison Druid for Act 1. Maybe a little bit of Act 2. And then you're respecking out of it. And for a lot of people, especially with guided playthroughs, I try not to just burn all their respecs. I try and make it so you have respecs available. And you can feel a little bit like, oh, okay. If I messed up a little, I can shift. Or if I don't like the way the character's going, I can change it. Interesting. I was not expecting that. Unless that somehow immediately cuts right. Is the Might Aura better for Thorns? Both are fine. Take your pick, honestly. That should be here. I just did the hardcore Necro Summoner, and I bounced between both of them. I used Thorns for some of it. I used Might for some of it. Both were good. Also, we'll go just keep going Vitality. Now, Rakinishu can be dangerous, so do be careful with him. If you are going to lose a hardcore character early on, it's probably to Rakinishu. This is also where a point in Molten Boulder can be really helpful. And also additionally where you can grab a waypoint if you have one near your stones, or you can just look for the waypoint in Stony Field. And you can just go enjoy it. Go farm Rakinishu till level 10, 11, 12, whatever. What's best of slot armor for early Druid? Yeah, Enigma. I mean, he's a pretty good fire class for sure. His early fire damage is really sick. And he's actually okay laking. Do I have a current Warlock guided playthrough for the post patch? Yes. I did a Blood Boil Warlock that's on latest patch. And then I'll continue going into Firestorm. Molten Boulder is mostly useful for Countess, just because she's fire enchanted. And a little bit of, you know, like knocking some mobs out of the way here and there. But for the most part, you're going to be using Firestorm. Boulder and Maggot Lair with a few points can also be nice. Though hopefully we just have Leaf by that point, and that gives it enough extra damage. But the main reason that we don't really care for Boulder is it doesn't boost our fire or our Fissure. So it's not a synergy for Fissure, and Fissure is going to be a really big damage later on. So we want to get as many points over there as possible. Keep going Firestorm. Go more Vitality. We'll go ahead and kill Treehead and his brothers.
This dead tree teems with energy.
And keep it going. Heck yeah, Darth. Love to see some obedience love. The hard part to get obedience is you need Foul and Co. The fact that it needs both of those just makes it kind of hard to get it in a playthrough unless you're spending a lot of time doing, or a medium amount of time doing Countess runs in Hell. But it's like, even if you find one on your like Nightmare Hellforge, you still gotta find another one. It's just a little tough. So I'm focusing these boss groups like this because they give 500% experience. So they're just worth a little bit extra. More Vitality. You do need a 5-second polearm. That's not too bad. You can just find any like partisan and socket quest it, and then you can get it. So the weapon isn't actually as difficult as the other parts. Sometimes the base is harder, like for Insight or something. And I'm still just on players 8 here. Because this character just kind of moves along nicely on P8. Nothing there. Let's go find a waypoint. And we will go for runes. And this time on this character, we're going to go for Tal, Eth, and Tyr Rao. Did Pally die? No, he just finished. Okay, a little bit far away, but workable still. 1 to energy is fine. Oh my god. 3 to charge bolt, 1 to frost nova. So good. 2 to teeth there. So good. This will switch over to Tornado. Honestly, doing a Fire Druid through the entirety of the game is kind of tough. This is also where like Molten Boulder can be a little bit nicer sometimes. Fire really starts to struggle a little bit in Act 4 of Nightmare. Now you still can get through Act 4 of Nightmare with it. Act 4 of Hell. Oof, good luck. I mean, we could maybe do like Mercenary Plus. Like, I could take a Fire Druid all the way through Hell. It technically would be possible and it would work. More Vitality, more Firestorm. But shifting over is just going to be better. It's kind of plain and simple. We will look for a 2-socket armor and a 2-socket staff. So maybe in the future we do a pure, fully fire elemental druid or something through hell. But it's not really until later on when you get to respec that that actually ends up being something that you kind of like want to do. Where you want to be full fire. Like I said, I think I did it already in softcore. I'm saying like if I want to do it again on hardcore. Now before we kill the Countess, we're going to drop to players 1. She is the only mob in the game where lowering their player count is actually better for drops. You get more runes on a lower player count than a higher player count. Just how it is. And she's also where Molten Boulder is solid because Molten Boulder does have a physical component to it. So you get a little extra. The damage is better there because she's fire enchanted. For now, I'll put this stuff here. I have to empty out my shared stash at some point. More of those guys. We can also look for that 2 open socket staff again. Look for something nice and cheap, and that's 3,600. A little more than I want to spend on it. Can also look for 2 open socket helms and armors. There we go. 2 open socket armors found. Players 8 again. And continuing. Good morning, Finn. You get unlimited character slots on offline, but there is kind of like a memory limit or a storage limit. Once you have like 1,000-ish characters, it'll just start like crashing the game or like not loading in and stuff. So good enough, and we hit level 12, so that means it is fissure time. See you, Zach. We'll also go ahead and get a little bit of strength. We want to get up to 25 strength eventually. So at some point in the next couple levels, we want to get to 25 strength. Pick and choose when you want to do that. Now, fissure is God tier. One of the best early game, if not the best early game spell in Diablo 2. It's, yeah, it's... That's experience. So powerful, you only have to drop 1 or 2 of them. The mana cost isn't too bad. And if you get a tier rune, then you're basically not going to have mana issues anymore. You just kind of like drop it and keep going. And this one really lets you, like, before you get to fissure, it's a little bit rough. After you get to fissure, it's just epic. You'll be able to stay players 8 for a long time now. Okay, we'll keep going here. Countess is still going to be fire enchanted, so dropping a fissure down and then molten bouldering her works as well. Another Tau rune. Which 3 Taus do you make a Ral? So there's something. A little bit of light res there. Back to players 8. And keep it going. Another point in fissure. Now, once you hit about 17 in the tower, it stops being good experience. It's like a pretty hard fall off. Get up to our 25 strength. There's vitality. So if you get to 17, you can keep kind of killing stuff a little bit, but honestly, for a lot of that point, you're probably just going to want to move forward and just like rush to the Countess, because Taleth is really nice for the fast run walk and a little bit for the cast rate. And then Tier Ral is +3 to fire skills, which is godly. So much damage that you get added there. Like I said, that's one that we really would love. And you don't have to even kill everything. A lot of times you're just trying to kill enough, basically. I want to kill, you know, a good group of what there is, but you're going to get enough experience with this character. So it's not a big worry if you're not killing every single mob. Grab the wolf head. On to lycanthropy. Oh, I have a 2-socket helm. Perfect. Go down to players 1 for Countess. See if we can get... Nope. Just Tal every time, huh? We've had 3 runs. Every run has yielded a single Tal rune.
The order welcomes you.
Kind of funny. 10 FCR, 1 mana per kill. Yup. We like that. And 2-socket, expensive, expensive. Mechanics, don't buy mechanics. Make sure it's gray. Agreed, Varel. Players 8 again. Yeah, we're only 15, so still more experience to be had. And more vitality. So, yeah, we got sushi, and he got to meet my kids, and I don't think they liked him. They were just screaming the whole time. But that was Kano's time in Dallas. Hey Kano, what's going on? Good to see you. Heard you set a new Warlock world record. Look, man. Old 3.0 Warlock versus 3.2 Warlock. It's a big difference. They're not the same in normal. Ring of Fire has 15% more damage. Or less, right? Yeah, Flame Wave is 15% more damage. That's pretty substantial, my friend. On top of Ring of Fire there. White Wolf Head. This is what I'm saying. Like patching is messy. Speedrunning is a little messy right now. Am I going to TwitchCon? I didn't have any immediate TwitchCon plans. I have BlizzCon plans. Kane, are you going to BlizzCon? No idea what to do about that. Yeah. See? You were like la 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 la. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, 15% damage. Yeah, that's actually. Alright. We got 2 to Werebear, 1 to Firestorm. It's like slightly better. We'll go ahead and use it for now. 10 to life, small charm. We'll keep that all the way through hell. Level 16. That was actually a nice... We got, what, Ethral? So I do need a tier rune. But I might just move forward if this doesn't yield a tier rune. Because tier rune is kind of droppable. A little bit later on. Kano 99% sure he's going to BlizzCon. Let's go! Why go players 1 for Countess? You get more runes on players 1 than players 8. It's like that because that's just the way that it is. Pick that up. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not for sure going to TwitchCon. I just haven't planned for it. But if there's something cool happening or some event or something. Neftal. Okay. So if you wish to continue, you can. But I've got my Tal Eth here, which I'm pretty happy with. And I would like Tier Ral. I'm just going to continue forward and try and pick up Tier Ral a little bit later on. Meantime, we'll grab some more stamina. Sell some of these. And grab some more of these. See if we can get that 2 open socket staff still. There we go. 477 gold. I like that better. We're leafless, but a lot of times you end up finding a tier rune in Act 2. So, it's kind of my thoughts. Try and play for that. We'll respec to Wind in the middle of Nightmare. Right around end of Act 3, start of Act 4 probably. I'll probably wait till Act 4 just to show how fire feels out there and to show like how it can be slower but still viable. Yeah, the faster run walk that we'll get from that will be really nice. And a little bit of the FCR just for like to get our cast off and stuff. I'm a little sad we don't get the 2 sockets, but only like entropy. A little bit sad we don't have that tier rune, because again, the mana per kill is pretty much enough to sustain a single tier rune. If I did have tier rune right now, I would just have just the tier rune in the staff, and I wouldn't put the Rao rune in. And I would just wait to put the Rao rune in until later. Let's see. Alright, fine. We'll go ahead and get the imbue. We'll come back for it.
No way. Bars can't hold a force of nature.
Most people are not blitzing through the barracks like this. Yeah, I mean, this is an important note to make. Is I probably move at a different speed than your average player does. So do not feel like you have to move at the same speed that I move. do not feel like, you know, if you're ever uncomfortable, if you ever feel like I would die, you know, I'm about to die if I keep moving like this or whatever it is, slow down, back it up, get a little bit more experience, spend a little bit more time just like farming, get your res up, your life up, farm some gear, do whatever it is until you feel that you're comfortable wherever you're at. And then you go back at it, right?
Impossible.
The reason I move at the speed I move at is because I feel comfortable and safe moving at the speed that I'm moving at. So that's it. It's just
No way.
I'm going to move at
Force of nature.
whatever speed I feel good at, and this is the speed. I don't mind taking some hits here and there because I know that they'll be fine. But like I said, the difference between this and softcore is 5%. 5% of the time when I'm playing this versus softcore, I make a slightly different decision. If that. Could be even less. But that's the difference between the, you know, those 5% of the times are when I can die in softcore, because I know I can die in softcore because I'm allowing that as a possibility since it's not as detrimental. But here, death is not allowed, right? And this is why a lot of people like playing hardcore. It's you know, you don't get the opportunity to just go get your buddy. Thanks, Remy. You'll get the 30 fast farm recruits, not the 40. You probably do want the 40s. 40s are nice. Dang. Well, maybe it's we can see if we have Fallens coming from this direction. Fallens can be a fun little place to get a little experience. Champion Fallen groups here. Nope, just goats. Just goats.
I sense it. Supernaturally strong here. I can't.
More fissure. Nothing there. More vitality. I mean, maybe anti-tier rune or something. But again, I most likely think we'll see a tier rune in Act 2 if we're gonna see it, because we kill a lot of stuff on this class. So there's like total random guess. I would say 30 to 40% chance we drop a tier rune in Act 2. That seems about what I would expect for it. If you want to get the waypoint, you can. Farming in Dariel is like... I mean, it's going to be really fast on this character, but you don't really need it. you'll be able to kind of move past her pretty quick and the stuff that she dropped. But you know, like, you can get Blood Fist, you can get Hisaris Boots, you can get items that will carry you through for a lot of the game. So if you want to go do a little Andy farm, it's not the worst idea I've heard by any means. Keep going here. Let's just find Andy. There we go. And just to show you how strong Fissure is, even though I don't even have Leaf or anything, I'm going to do Player's Aid and Dario. So I don't even have my Leaf. I'm just running Fissure and Firestorm, and we can still melt her on Player's Aid. It's just like super, super powerful. That seems good enough. And just like that. Easy.
Greetings.
Got some boots. Wow, these are like nothing boots, but technically we have nothing, so doesn't even matter. Yeah, it's an FCR ring. I'll hold it just because, but FCR is not that important right now. But later on, FCR will have some potential importance. And we can turn that in, because we will be going into Wind Druid later, so we'll go ahead and do this. I always like to look and see just like what's for sale. Sometimes you can find some nice things. And we'll go ahead and just buy some potions. Buy a few more stamina potions. She does have negative fire res as well, yes. Yeah, I'm not going to do Player's 8 Duriel. But we could. It would just be a little slow. So many fire enchantments. So again, with the fire enchantments and stuff, my goal is not to kill every single boss and every single monster all the time. If you want, Stony Tomb is pretty good experience as well. But my goal is just kill any packs. Anytime I see a pack, I just lay a fissure down. Look at that. 4 out of 5 of those beetles died. That's good enough. And maybe a Tyrant drops somewhere here. Mercenary Act 2. We could grab a mercenary. The biggest thing is we don't really need it. This character is so powerful at this point because Fissure's so good that everything's just kind of dead before the mercenary has to deal with it. So if you want to grab it, you can. But it's fun around me doing that. Okay, and we are 19. If we had Tier Rune, we would make our leaf now. But also, you know, again, not that big of a deal. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Oh my god, binary. And Not any Halls of the Dead. Doesn't look like it. We'll just go forward. Do you do guided playthroughs where respec isn't part of the build? Sometimes. I mean, usually it's good to have like one respec just to kind of get out of some of the early character stuff that you were doing. Now, not all the time and not every character always needs to do that. Like this character, we will shift from fire to elemental, but we could just stick fire the whole way and never respec and it would be totally fine. It would just be a little slower and a little bit different. So there's definitely, if you go look at my guided playthroughs, you know, I've got like 50 of them or something. You will definitely find some guided playthroughs that are like that, where, yeah, it's not an issue. You're just on a single spec the whole way. Which act is my favorite music? Man, Act 2 is probably my favorite music. So many bangers in Act 2. Best drop we got on a guided playthrough? I mean, that barbarian that one time got Burrune, and I found some like sweet rares. I found, I mean, it's hard to say. There's so many things. You got like Burr Ohm or something. Eldrune is 1/3 of a tier rune. So we'll grab that. Yes, Philbin. D2 didn't launch with respecs? It did not. It was kind of rough because you had to just... We'll go more vitality, by the way. You had, like, if you wanted to be a cold sorceress, for instance, cold is so rough to level up with, and you just had to use, like, Ice Bolt and Ice Blast to try and level all the way until you got to 24 so you could get Blizzard, or 30 for Frozen Orb, which was great back then. There's an L rune, 1/9 of a tier rune. Slowly but surely. You had to plan all this stuff out. It was fun, but honestly, I do think the respec is better to have. Just because, man, it was tough to make some characters. And then it also really sucked when you were trying to like put points and skills into your character and then you accidentally put it in the wrong spot. Yeah, I feel like Diablo 2 does a pretty fair job with it. You get 1 respec per difficulty. So you don't just get it all the time and it's not just like, oh, pay 10 gold and you can, you know. And then if you want more later, you have to go farm all the bosses and it takes a little bit, you know. So you have to put some effort in, and I like it. I think they did a really nice job. Probably one of the fairest respec systems that exist. Try up here. Go StarCraft. I do slightly miss StarCraft. Like when I look at my time playing StarCraft and Age of Empires 2, I'm like, yeah, overall I think StarCraft still is the superior RTS. Age of Empires 2 is a great RTS. But StarCraft is more polished. more like unique and more polished at the same time. I mean, you can always just set it, Skippy. Why is every game I play a speed run? What do you mean a speed run? I'm going slow right now.
Warms the world once more.
Good day.
More FCR. Don't need it. If I have fire res, we will keep.
Good day.
And more fissure, more vitality. Let's go to the dry hills. Hey. It's fun that you got to play with you. Man, I haven't played StarCraft with my brother in 30 years. What do you think about Warcraft 3? I haven't played enough Warcraft 3. The thing is, like, I haven't played competitive Warcraft 3. Like, now, I've played, you know, StarCraft Brood War. We got up to about low B rank, high C rank there with random. And that's, you know, good enough to feel like competitive enough. Age of Empires 2, we got up to 1500 MMR. Good enough to feel decently competitive. Warcraft 3, I've only like played casually, but I don't have an understanding of how the game really functions and flows, so I can't give a full opinion. My initial opinion is I don't love the heroes, but the gameplay does seem fun still. It's an interesting style. And maybe I'll come to really like the heroes more. But it definitely feels like it's a lot of like... I just didn't love like the engagements with the heroes as much. So... But again, we will see. What's up, Keep? Yeah, I'd love to play in like the Warcraft 3 Invitational, Grubby Streamer Invitational, and like, you know, do a little bit there, right? And see how that goes.
How may I help you?
I feel like I could probably get up to a similar MMR, 1600, if I worked on it. Okay, let's go find the maggot lair. The campaigns were really fun. Yeah, I actually played a ton of Warcraft 3, but all I played was Dota. I literally just played thousands of hours of Dota and never really booted the game up. We'll go down to players 1 for the maggot lair because it's kind of annoying. Also, trying to cast Fissure in the maggot lair is just not great. So what you'll end up casting instead is just Molten Boulder and Firestorm. And you'll just kind of rinse and repeat those guys. I also did play a lot of other, like, Uther Party and stuff. But I just really didn't play the actual game of Warcraft much at all. Upkeep is one of the systems they have in Warcraft 3. It's a reduction on your income when you reach certain numbers of population. Wow, I did not even know that. So that's how little knowledge I have about Warcraft 3. So just a cumulative upkeep for all of your everything you have. You have to like pay for the food that supports them or something. So is there strategy then in like keeping your population just under 50 or something? Because that feels pretty significant. Tyrun! What'd I tell you? Okay, so we go Tyr plus Ral. 3 to fire skills. You also get some mana per kill and cold res right there, which is nice. But forget the Inferno Warmth Firebolt. This is not a sorceress, but it doesn't matter. The fire skills, these still are tagged as fire skills. A lot of people don't know that. So we still get the benefit. Are you doing hardcore runs as a hint of what would be revealed at BlizzCon that you know about but pretend not to know? I don't know nothing about anything that's not going to be happening at BlizzCon, okay? But even if I did, I don't even know what that wouldn't be related to hardcore about.
Throwbarb Classic Update, in Hell Act 2, Lev 63, rough leveling, need more damage for players 8. Trying Maggot for leveling.
I don't know if I'd try Maggot Lair for leveling exactly. I mean, it is going to be kind of safe, I guess. What did I do on my guided playthrough? Where was I leveling?
Moo.
Maybe try picking up some better throwing weapons. Go shopping. Nightmare there's Mala for that or something. Thank you, Tribal. Welcome on in. Thank you for the Prime sub. I know you could use it anywhere. I appreciate using here. And thank you for reminding everyone in chat that they may have a Twitch Prime sub available as well. Talk to Mr. Dragonon. And let's keep going.
Greetings.
Most entertainment given gets the sub. Thank you. Didn't kill the big bug. You know, sometimes you gotta let them live so they can tell their friends what's coming. I'll go back to players 8. Why not?
I got 2 superior 15% endam harpoons. I like maggot cause I can line people up in a single path and get them all hit with javelins.
15%? Bro, you need better than that. You want to be having like 150% enhanced damage. Alright, we'll go back to players 1 for the Arcane Sanctuary. Actually, we'll go players 8, but only for the straight path. Because the straight path is still fine, the flat path here.
Jinx gifted a tier 1 sub to Dark
On players 8,
Masterman
but
_.
the other
They have
paths
given 18
are
gift
kind of
subs
really
in the
annoying
channel.
on players 8, so. Thank you, Game Jinx. Oh, classic. Sorry, I missed the classic part. Saying what? Hypothetically, if you knew about D2R news, which you don't, of course, thank you, what would you be most excited about? Oh. there's so many things that if I did know something I would be excited about, I don't feel like I could even pick one. I don't know anything that's coming, but if I did, you know, saying something just seems wrong. All right, first way. That's nice. Any recommendations on build I can SSF without feeling like a sucker? I mean, any of them. Remember, it goes circle, moon, square, sun, double down arrow, triangle, circle over moon. That is your ordering from left to right. So when you look in your quest log, you know which way to go. And we're still just on players 8 right now. Just jamming. Enjoying some juicy experience. Do be careful a little bit in here. But again, great way. You can just, with this character, you can over level a lot. It's really nice. Superior Hawkhelm. Wonder Raven. Why do I think people don't play Druid? Ultimately, the Druid in the end game just struggles to be impressive. He's like good, but not the best at anything. Like a physical mauling, you know, Druid or Fury Druid is okay, but you can't teleport when in form, and that's kind of problematic in, you know, this day and age of the game. A summon Druid is like mid at best, and there's just better summoners that exist. So why are you playing the summon Druid when you can go play better summoners? And he doesn't have something like Corpse Explosion or Blood Boil to really like take advantage of the summon, you know, like add in his own thing. When he's summoner, he's mostly just like chilling there, recasting his ravens over and over again. The Fire Druid is alright, but like, you know, a Fire Sorceress is just kind of better. But like, you know, he's decent. And the Elemental Druid is decent, but does run into the issue of tornadoes have horrible pathing. So it feels pretty rough. More fissure, more vitality. Feels pretty rough trying to cast tornadoes and them just going in every direction you don't want. So when you kind of look at those four things, you go, yeah, I just can't quite find a good enough reason to play him. But he's fine. He's just not like great, you know? 12 fire res, better than 6 light res, sure. Hmm, 20 fire res on a helm? Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and use that. Now, before we go to Duriel, we'll go ahead and get up some thawing potions. And we can go players 8 on Duriel for $2. Walking only. Now, normally I'm not recommending players 8 Duriel. But it's possible. If you can do walking only players 8 Duriel, you can do anything. Again, showcase the power of the character. And just like that, Binary owes me $2. Act 2 done.
I will find you yet. Greetings, the Arcane.
I think that probably goes too far. Love those. 15 fire res, 16 poison res, half freeze duration, and 21% magic find to boot. We may use these for a long time and enjoy all of the benefits right there. Get a couple stamina potions for Act 3. What are you saying? I left $2 back there. You owe me $2. We players 8 walked it. Pay up. Baby Lilith wants her steak. Wow, Binary. Speaking of getting Baby Lilith steak, exclamation mark VOD. Keep it up on your side monitor while you hang out and watch here. Earn points. We have a $20 Steam gift card giveaway happening at the end of the stream. And just every day after stream we'll have giveaways. So, the more to hang out and watch there, the more points you get, more tickets you can get, better your chances. Easy as that. You can literally rewind and check yourself, Binary. So lazy. Another tier rune. You definitely start getting tier runes pretty easily here. That's fine, you can pay me later. Does Wisdom draw out my Cold Wolves as a summon druid? Yes. 15 to life. It's okay as a Grand Charm. I'll go ahead and use it right now. Probably dump it later. And I'm actually going to quit out because I got the waypoint and I'm just before level 24. So we're going to go for shopping for a telestaff. So if I do it before level 24, yeah, for sure as well. Then we can shop and only have to look at the staves that are red because level 24 required is necessary for charges. And we're just looking for teleport charges. One more to check. Now, the cheapest this will be is about 16,000. The most expensive it'll be is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. So you just got to hope that you roll one that's pretty cheap. If you roll one that's a little bit beyond what you can pay, You can always use your chip gems to help get you there, which is why we pick up chip gems. So we can go find a staff that's really cheap. 1730, 1317,
Impossible.
1430. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, that's nice.
Good day.
I'll show you what I mean here. So we have those. We go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 chip gems plus a staff, plus 1 to teleport. Unfortunate. Nothing on that one. Plus 1 to teleport. Again, we're hitting teleport. I want teleport charges. 1, 2, 3. I like to keep 1 chip topaz, 3 mana per kill. 1 to meteor. And that's all we have right now. Chip topaz is nice because 3 thols plus a chip topaz makes an Amrune, and we will want a spirit when we get to Nightmare. So we'll keep that. But now we have 3 things that are worth money, 4 things, so I've got an extra 60k sitting right here that I can use to add to my money total if I need. I just don't need the damage J-Shep. That's why I'm not grabbing the early mercenary. I do so much damage. I'm just fine.
Good day.
Enchant, and there you go. Teleport charges. Nice and easy. We'll put it over there. And we will continue.
Impossible. Impossible.
PoE is always an interesting one for me. I enjoy playing PoE, but I do feel a little bit like the complexity of it is too in your face. Like Diablo 2 has a lot of complexity as well. We'll go ahead and put this on our offhand, by the way. Diablo 2 also has a lot of complexity. But when I play Diablo 2, it's like you don't have to know that it has all the complexity. It's more mystery and stuff. When I play PoE, you start the game and open the skill tree and you're like, what? And then it just continues from there. There's so many systems that you're just like, they're in your face complex. I might continue with Fissure. You might say, oh, but Mr. Lema, you are level 24. Don't you want to continue with that? I will say, no thanks. I'm going to continue with Fissure. I don't need Volcano. We'll check really quick to see if... this cuts out to the right over here at all. Not looking good. Okay, Great Marsh it is. You also don't feel like you can clearly correlate what you click on the skill tree and what happens gameplay-wise? Yeah, I think that a little bit is it as well. A lot of stuff is 5% more of this, 10% more of that, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like slowly getting stronger, but it's not. Your real power spikes do come from gear right now, at least in PoE 2. Or whatever. Great Marsh. There can be souls. I have a 0% light res, but normal souls just tickle. If this was hell, I would not go through a Great Marsh ever with 0% light res. In normal, they just don't hurt that much. More vitality. Not a big issue. And remember when I said a single tier rune will solve your mana problems? It has. We're just so much mana now. It's fine with that single mana per kill tier rune. We get Flare Jungle. Great place to pick up even more experience if you want, but again, I don't feel like there's a place really that, at least in this part of the game, that the character struggles to pick up experience. So I just started a Warlock and this is not D2. When will that be addressed? What do you mean? You think he's too strong? I mean, they've already brought him down a lot. I think they could bring down fire a little bit more early on. And probably the biggest offender, honestly, is just early fire. It's pretty strong. They could definitely drop a couple of his skills, like give him a little bit more nerfs, but it's in a pretty decent spot. But yeah, the fire is very powerful. That'd be nice, Remy. I mean, to be fair, I also just killed bosses on players 8 here pretty easily. In general, fire skills are just really good. Like, Fissure Druid, Fire, Wake of Fire, Trap Assassin, Flame Wave for the Warlock. All three of those are just players 8 murderers. Okay, leave a TP. Keep going.
I can't carry it.
More vitality. Already level 25. So crazy how quickly this character levels up. Oh, we're on our telestaff too. Like, it's so crazy how powerful of a character this is for just like playing through, and then how people are like, yeah, Druid's one of the worst characters. It's because just like after this you're like, eh. Nowhere to really go. That's great.
It's locked.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do Battle Maid Serena for even more experience. Thanks, Nick. I mean, I've definitely given plenty of nerf notes to the devs, as you guys know, and many people yell at me for. No, it hits the entire circle binary. Let's find a waypoint so we can go back and do the Flare Jungle or dungeon. There's an Ethrune. Just gonna be a Wind Druid later on. Yep. There we go. More fissures. More vitality. Still just on players 8. Let's actually do this. Oops. And let's go ahead and start our rejuves. Why not? Also, the fire breath from those guys can be a little nasty. Some things you can do are put a Rao rune in the helm if you need. And you have spare Rao runes. Or find other ways to get some nice fire resist. Oh, perfect leaf.
Impossible.
Oh. Careful of dolls. They do hurt. And with your fissure, you're just going to kind of kill everything. Sometimes despite your desire to. Yeah, probably big one. Get rough. Okay, let's go get the ring. Garbage. Unfortunate.
Good to see you.
Okay, we have both those pieces. Let's go talk to Mischief. And pick up a couple more stamina pots. Chug that. Get more Vita. And we're moving along. I mean, nice and easy so far. Let's go to the sewers. If you want, you can always farm more Battle Maid Serena. You can just quit out, come back in. You can farm more of the Flare Jungle. Whatever, but you know, like, I mean, again, I'm level 26 in Act 3. It's dominatingly high. So, I don't feel the need to press even more experience right now. Beyond what I'm just getting moving forward and killing stuff as I go. Some dolls right there. Just gonna try and be careful to not do anything to set up an explosion around the dolls. And if you have dolls chasing you, I'll show this right now. If you have dolls chasing you, one thing you can do is set a fissure way in front and then run. Because there will be a little delay where the dolls will swing at you and then go for like a hit. And at that point, you'll be far enough away. Yep, Paladin finish. That'll be up on YouTube in the next, 3 days. We'll put up the next 3 parts for that. 4 days, whatever. Travancore. I mean, here again, we can even stick players 8. Like, it's so good. Such a strong character here. Fire enchanted, don't super care to kill, but if we wanted, we could. In a little time. But we'll mostly focus on just killing these guys. Kill Torque. Kill Ishmael. Keep it nice and easy. FCR, 21 poison res, sure. It's a really nice helm. Speaking of mercenary helms. 25 fire res, 10 light res, yes please. What build am I rolling next season? Unknown. Maybe we'll just go back to a classic source, I feel like I haven't just done like a good source starter in a while. And then just go like farm like mad. Or could play the Warlock again. Could play our trusty Hammerden. I don't know when the season will start. We'll go players 1 for Mephisto. We could go higher player count, but it's all fine. Could go Fire Druid? We could. And voila! Act 3 is complete. You're breezing through this. Well done. Little Blood Thief action. Does have nice open wounds on it, but the damage is unfortunately just a little bit low. If you're in Act 4 and you do have an Act 2 mercenary, grabbing a nice weapon like this can be really helpful for him. So let's just grab an Act 2 mercenary for the fun of it. Doesn't super matter, but why not? And he will be slightly helpful. We'll grab a Blessed Aim one.
I'll put that to good use.
He will be slightly helpful with like the fire, a couple fire immunes we'll run into here. Act 4 and 5. Though we can always just use Molten Boulder as well. Razan is a weird way to spell Wahid. It is a weird way, isn't it? It'll be a better joke once we convert to wind. Alright, we'll grab Fissure there. And we'll go more Vitality. Almost 400 life right now is really nice. And we will go kill Ishwal. So we're just looking around for him. If you don't find him before you find the exit, you can just set a TP, head forward, grab the waypoint, and then go back to your TP. But remember, it's hardcore, and if you get in a situation where you're about to die, just save quit out. The amount of time it takes to run back through the Plains of Despair and get here again is way less time than restarting your entire character. Thanks, Stinky. Glad you've enjoyed them. So, always remember that. The most time you'll have to take will always be restarting your character. It is always worth it to play it a little bit safer. Talrune, sure. We do need Talthor or Am for Spirit when we get to Nightmare. So.
Impossible.
Okay. Put you guys away. And go back and find Mr. Ishwal. You thought this was Pitbull, your favorite Diablo 2 speedrunner? He is one of my favorites as well, yeah. Everybody can think of just like a classic run, you know, that Pitbull did in Diablo 2. There's always one you can think of where you're like, wow, that was so amazing. So I think I'll do more Source speedruns in 2026. Yeah. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens at BlizzCon, because I want to see, like, what if at BlizzCon they're like, there's an Act 6 now. All speedrunning would be turned on its head. You know? Like, now you gotta speedrun that Source through Act 6. It'd almost be really sad to get the record right before that, and then it's now different. Nothing confirmed, just speculating randomly. We'll continue with Firestorm here. I'm not confirming a dang thing, okay? This is all random speculation because I don't know stuff. Do I look like a guy that knows anything? No. I'm not confirming or denying anything. Guys, I don't know what's happening at BlizzCon. I'm just as excited as you are. I'm going to be there, sitting in my seat. And you know what? When they announce whatever's happening, I'm going to go a little pee-pee in my Pampers. Most likely. I'm going to be so excited. And that's okay. Because all of us are going to be that excited about it. If there's something. And if there's not something, I'm going to pull out my phone. I'm going to make an angry video about how they baited me all the way out to BlizzCon just to show me Diablo Immortal 2. Okay? Dude, diapers are great. You're telling me for 25 cents a pop, I don't have to get up out of my seat and can keep playing my video game? That's a pretty big steal. Alright, let's see what rune we get. Talrune. Amrune would be really nice. Get that spirit on guard, you know, or like just made easier, but can't be worse than what we have, and they are not. 39 cold res, 10 hit recovery. I wish it was run walk. 9 poison res, and 25% MF to go with the 21 MF over here. We are a magic finding machine right now. Exactly, Nico. Now for the chaos, I generally like to be on players 1. We also, let's get a perfect diamond. How did I guarantee myself a diamond right there? Well, I clicked every gem in my inventory except the perfect diamond, making the perfect diamond the longest since interacted with gem in my inventory. And that is the one that gets picked. So it's actually not random on a gem shrine. I could also drop all of the gems except the flawless diamond and then do that. So that would also work. 3 open socket kite shield is good. We can use that for an ancient's pledge later. Where to find Mage Fist? I've found Mage Fist on my last 2 guided playthroughs. So, you know, they just drop. Where's the best place to search for them? I would assume Nightmare in Dariel. Seems the most likely. Ooh, and 23 cold res here as well. Dude, our cold res is stacked. If you look up Silo's pen, you can look up where exactly the best place is. But I think it's going to be Nightmare in Dario. I'm not going to telly over into that. That was a lot of mobs right there. A little bit deadly to do so. We'll just walk around and kill stuff on the way instead. And we push the button. Just try and make sure that they don't fast spawn up here. Every now and then they will, and it's really annoying.
I can't carry it.
Instead, we'll come down here. Now this guy is fire immune, so this is where 1, having the mercenary can be helpful, or 2, using molten boulder can be good. We'll go back really fast.
What do you need?
Let's get the lower res off. But generally just having a mercenary to kill Grand Vizier is the easiest way to go. And we'll also grab a splint mail for our mercenary.
I'll put that to good use.
Make sure we're on players 1 for Diablo here. There's a free Tau rune.
I need mana.
And we can kind of far cast him a little bit. Ah, he ran off. Like, I don't hear him though. Mercenary is going to die. Just gonna happen. Nothing to do about it. Just let it be. Otherwise, avoid the lightning breath. Drop some fissures on him, and if you want to get in close, Firestorm can be more damage, but it's a little bit more dangerous. And GG. I wouldn't do Diablo normal, Dakota. Act 4 of normal done. And beautiful. 29 to fire res with 7 energy, 7 mana, and some poison res as well. We'll take it. It's also a decent weapon. And those are okay, but not worth the requirements. There's no FCR on that one, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and replace Raisin's weapon there. Still good though. Go back up to players 8. And we're coming up on one of our favorite spots, Eldritch. Where if you want to do some Eldritch farming, this is a fantastic character for it. That can easily massacre and pick up levels. I'm talking like a level every minute or two, you know. You can go right up into your low to mid 30s. Kids seem like they're getting tired. A lot of whine in those voices right now. Grab another point in fissure, grab some more vitality. Shank can be a little tanky on players 8. So he'll take a few fissures usually to get down. You're good. We're all just having a good time. Oops. Bye-bye, mercenary. And you can also start looking for broadsword, longsword, crystal sword. I generally recommend going for a broadsword, just because it's, but like this longsword right here, broadsword or longsword won't get more than 4 sockets. The crystal sword can, so that's one where it's like, it depends. You have to know where you're getting it and what the eye level is. But this right here will make 4 sockets for a spirit. For sake, if you want to just do some really fast leveling, you can just do this over and over. And spend 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, whatever, you will be cooking. Easy place to pick up a lot of levels. And sometimes you get multi-boss groups with it, and... True curves. What biome do I think Act 6 would be if there was an Act 6? I don't feel like I could say a biome without, you know, it having a people reading and, you know. If I said something, everybody would be like, that's it. I just don't feel like speculating. I just want to be surprised. I just want to like show up and just be surprised. And that's all. By whatever happens. We've already gained 2 levels here in like a minute and a half.
Impossible.
Trash. Probably be on the stage discussing the changes. If I was going to be on stage, they probably would have already reached out to me about that, like setting something up for it, you know? So I don't think that there's going to be any stage thing for me. Wow, and adorned. Well, I mean, they reached out to me about coming to BlizzCon. Yeah, I mean, we're literally gaining a level a minute.
Salutations.
Right around there. Wow, Kano. They also reached out to Kano about coming to BlizzCon, probably. He probably knows what's happening. Kano, what biome is Act 6 gonna be? Go pester him about it. He probably knows. Live speedrunning competition on stage? Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, that'd be so sick, I wish. So, I mean, we've gained, what, 4 levels in 4 minutes? 4.5 minutes or something? Like I say, this is just if you want. And we'll max out Fissure and then start working on Firestorm. If you want, it's very quick and an easy way to pick up a few levels. But this character can also level nicely in Nightmare, so it's not end of the world if you decide to just push forward with it either. Dull Rune, interesting. Oh my god, for laser. Imagine live speedrunning and you drop into the new Act 6 without knowing ahead of time. Okay, that would be the coolest thing that could ever happen. Kano and I do a live speedrun, and then right when we get and finish Bale, we just open up Act 6, and that's how they launch it. Oh. God, what a cool idea. Would I skip the cinematics then? I feel like they'd have to make the cinematic unskippable for that point. Alright, let's just go forward. We're level 33. That's crushing it. It's too cool. Like, they couldn't do something that cool. You know? That's too cool for what they would ever do. That's something that, like, Llama RPG would do. Because Llama RPG is such a cool company game that everybody loves.
Impossible.
Am I regenerating mana so quickly? I have a tier rune. I also have 1 mana per kill on a ring. So I get 3 mana per kill right now. And on this class, there's so many things that die. You just drop a fissure, which only costs 15 mana. I have to kill 5 things per fissure to get all my mana back. And fissures kill, on average, more than 5 things. Okay, we don't need that quote. Shadow dropping Reign of the Warlock was pretty cool, not gonna lie. I do agree. The way that they shadow dropped Reign of the Warlock with the slow delay on it after showing it for D4 and then Immortal, that was pretty dope. I will admit, they outdid themselves on that one. If I didn't know that that's what was coming, I would have really been losing it. But even knowing that that's what was coming, I was still pretty excited watching it. Like, it was still pretty hype. So that's always cool. It's like, you know, it's like when I listen to my raps, I still enjoy listening to it. And I'm like, I know what it is. I made this. But I enjoy it still. And that's a nice feeling. I think it was cool one time, but no more shadow drops. Yeah, I mean, now I think we do the speedrunning thing. That's super cool. There's another longsword. Again, that would get 4 sockets. Next new thing now is you have the top streamers of the game on stage announcing it. Boom, new thing. Probably been done somewhere. Probably. Oh my god. My 1.5-year-old is potty training herself. And she's now at the point where she asks for privacy. You're 1.5. What? She sits down. She goes, privacy. Outdoor privacy. 1.5. Girl has speedrun potty training. I mean, she's so cute. All right, we'll go more Firestorm. We'll go more here. that mean no MVS during September? We could maybe do it at like the start of September? Love it, Binary. BlizzCon's not till September 12th, so I have to do it before, because I think at the end of September we have like a family vacation thing. So either somewhere in the middle, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. I mean, even my friends, their daughters potty train way better than their boys have. I know, that's the problem. The best September promotions are always like the last week of September, so it's a terrible time to actually go on vacation. Oopsies. I don't know what I put in there. I did put an amethyst, though. We'll grab that out at least. All right, well, we'll get our scroll for 10 all res. Bring those resistances up a little bit more. Looking pretty good. Our light res is a little weak, but otherwise... Okay, there you go, Drunken. Some anecdotal evidence the other way. Yeah, the majority of people I know, the girls have trained easier than the boys. Honestly, both my kids have been pretty good with it. Like, my oldest daughter, yeah, she trained pretty well. And my youngest is super young and doing it, and she's just training herself. We're not even doing anything. She just sees her older sister and wants to be like her, that's all. Okay, more vitality. God, we're already level 35. So insane. This character gets so much experience. Thanks, Acorn.
At Acorn Easm 326 became a member.
How can you tell how many sockets a white item will get? If you type sockets into Google and you go to the page, it'll list the number of sockets that every item will get based on the level of the item. To know the level of the item, you have to know the level of the mob that dropped the item. And this is where it can get tricky, because when you get up to Nightmare in Hell, that level is going to be the area and or the area plus 2 or 3, depending if it's champions or uniques. But when you're in normal, all the monsters just have a level. So in the Chaos Sanctuary, the undead, Doom Knight dudes walking around we'll go players 1 ancients. We'll drop some, like a crystal sword, and it'll get 3 sockets, but any other mob dropping it in the Chaos Sanctuary, it'll get 4 sockets. If you drop a Chaos Sanctuary or a crystal sword further on in, the Act 2 of Nightmare, it'll get 6 sockets if you socket quest it. So there's a lot of, like...
Hey there, Mr. Llama SC _. The guy who made the seed hacking video you showed a moment ago was also using a level 6 sorceress with telekinesis to illustrate how even at very low level a player can use super chest drops to reverse engineer the seed. He accidentally logged out of D2, and when he logged back in he couldn't find the low-level telekinesis sorceress because he was using a mod that allowed him to make hundreds of characters. Classic case of a small medium at large.
Oh my god. Don't. Big ban on binary. God. Is any of that even true? Or I just listened to a lie for a minute.
Impossible.
Says the liar? Moi? Wow. Now, if you want to get the waypoint here, you can. It's not a huge deal, but like, hey, you know, you can pick it up and then you can do another run if you want. There, we'll just walk in. Right, Paladine? Kano tested just as much of the Warlock as I did. Maybe even more in some areas. We kind of did like slightly different things with it a little bit here and there, but nobody getting on to him. And he lied to his chat even more than I did. Yes, Druid helms can become lore bases if they get 2 sockets, so. Wow.
Impossible.
But that was the second time for me. Well, it's only 2 times. You get 3 strikes, and I've only had 2 strikes, so you can't be mad at me, okay? But even if there happened to be a 3rd strike soon, you still can't be mad at me because that one doesn't count. I'm not saying there will be a 3rd strike. I'm just saying if there were to be a 3rd strike. We're all in hypothetical world right now. There's no anything. He's also much better looking. Okay, he's a little taller. Maybe a little buffer than I am, sure. Okay, now when you're dealing with Colenso, one thing that can be good is hitting him into like a pillar, or you know, just something that'll stick him. You get extra damage from your Molten Boulder that way. Now we'll go players 8 for wave 2. We can stick players 8 for wave 3. It'll be a little bit annoying, but not too bad. I have good fire res. My light res, like we said, is a little weak. So that's all I really have to care about. Is Fissure the best normal skill in the game? Yeah, probably. Now these guys do have high fire res, but we can still stick players 8. And wave 5, they also have high fire res. We can try it. See how it goes. We're pretty high level. little bit brutal, but we are ticking through it, despite them having crazy res. But we do 850 damage, which is insane. Yep, Opali made it through. Love all the sounds. It's almost as bad as the lashers. Okay. Go down to players 1 for Mr. Bale. Grab some vitality. You totally can binary, but thank you very much. Ow, that was a crit. Now for Bale, again, similar idea. The Firestorm is actually going to end up being a lot of damage. So if you want to run that, you can. It's a little closer in, though. If you want to hang back, you can as well. Doesn't super matter. Either way, GG. Heart normal done. Level 38. Holy cow. Almost 39. That's wild for how fast and easy we breeze through that. I mean, yeah, Fissure is so good. It's so good. Let's take a look at our stuff. Enough strength, just 25 strength for the belt. Everything else vitality. And our skills are the easiest thing in the world. Max and maxing. Pretty much. After that, we can max Volcano for the synergy there as well. Armageddon can also be a fun thing that honestly isn't terrible. So you can consider Armageddon. But first, you just want to get Firestorm, Volcano, and Fissure max. And then you can look at something else like that. You can also look at getting like a Grizzly Bear later or something. For our gear, we have Leaf, +3 to fire skills. Stealth, faster run walk, little FCR. Shop this fire res helm. Nice dual res right here with some energy and mana. Nice dual res here with some magic find and half freeze duration. FCR with mana. Nothing on the belt. 12 fire res. And then some pretty good res on some boots. No fast run walk, unfortunately, but also some magic find. Then a couple random charms with some res and life. Pretty basic and simple. Can sell some things, get some more money. Wow. 1 to barb skills, 2 to natural res, 3 to battle orders. With 26 life. Oh, man, wrong character. Kind of want to get an Act 5 mercenary and give him that. We also, of course, have Mortal Kings as well. Could also give that to the Act 5 mercs. Nice barb stuff. And a 2 open socket armor for some nice stuff. Yeah, if he could battle orders, that'd be really nice. Let's get an Act 5 mercenary for fun. Why not? We'll get Battle Cry or Taunt. Tough choices. We'll go Battle Cry.
I'll put that to good use.
We'll give him that helm instead. I mean, that's also a nice helm, but
I am overburdened.
solid. So I'll just go pick up some basic stuff here. Put these away. Go sell these. And I mean, normally I'd say if you want to keep leveling in normal, you can. But we're pretty much at the end of leveling in normal. See what we get. 1 to Druid skills. Hey, I mean, I'm happy with that. And 18 to life, 8 energy, 22 cold res. And we could put a socket in it if we want. Put like an Ort rune, and hey, now you've got yourself a better lore. That's great. One of the few times I actually use what she gives me. We'll go players 8. We'll do the Pindle and pick up our level 39. We'll max out Firestorm. Go Vitality, and I mean, yeah, this character is ready to go to Nightmare. Like I say, you could do a little bit more farming. You could go do some Bale runs a little bit into the low 40s and stuff, but we do 1,000 damage. It's time to go over. So that is part normal. GG, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you're still alive, and I'll see you guys in part Nightmare.